Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. And yes, we're going to make a card tonight. I have a layout for you too because, hey, simples are my life. So, hope you're having a great week and you've had a chance to do a little bit of list making in Celebration. It's kind of overwhelming. I told you the new catalog just kind of like makes my head hurt because there's so many cool things and my list is amazing. And Penny keeps track for me, so that's good. But honest to goodness, every day I have a new favorite thing. Today, it's the tulips. So I thought I would share those with you. And let me see, I don't want it to be, it looks kind of like someone got sick on this desk because there's too much stuff. So let me know when you're here. And we will get going. So the Timeless Tulips is a punch and stamp set. It comes as a bundle. You can also get just the stamp set if you want, or just the punch. But together they're awesome. And it's the punch, and it's a leaf, but it's also a layer of the punch. So, right? Like, too cool. Hey, Susan. The sentiments on it are really great too. That's happy birthday, get well soon, happy Mother's Day, happy Easter. I did get well soon because I don't do that many get well soon cards, and I just thought it was a good one. Now I am stepping out of my comfort zone. I am not a melon mambo person. I'm really not. I mean, it's pink, so it's okay, but it's a little bright for me. These colors are a little bright, but I wanted to use that. I showed this to you the other day. This is one of the options of free that you can get with a $50 order for Celebration. This is the Timeless, let me look at it again. Timeless Impressions. You get this whole pack of designer series paper. I used one piece the other day, but I just wanted to show you. It looks like it's hand painted. It's a little bright for me, but it's beautiful. Okay, so there's that one. This one. This is the one I used the other day. Hey, Vicki. Elena. Hey, Lana. That one. It's Garden Green. Blackberry Bliss. Kind of your regals. Some Pretty Peacock. Right? Some great colors. Garden Green, I said that. Lipstick. Lovely Lipstick, I think, is the red. So it's really cool colors, garden green, granny apple green, lots of colors. Yeah, lovely lipstick. So I decided, okay, we're going to use it. So I put it back here as a frame because I just showed you the paper and I just wanted a little bit of something. The melon mambo on top. And then we created tulips, and I wanted to show you, so we're going to make this card. So I did some cutting already, so it's not too bad. And I'll put all this stuff in the classroom. It's not there right now, but I'll put it there. Okay, so here's our card base. Remember, it starts 8.5 by 11. Cut it in half. So now it's 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. And then you've got a piece of the designer series paper. I kind of like that side too, which is Grapefruit Grove. And you're going to pop that right down. Now remember, if you're thinking, well, gee, maybe I might want to punch something out of this before, punch away because it's going to be hidden. It's going to be underneath the melon mambo. So you could punch it if you wanted to, maybe punch a circle or maybe even a tulip out of it. I didn't get too carried away. Hey, Penny, Jeanette. All right, so we're going to pop this down so we don't lose it. And then we have a piece of our melon mambo, which is going to go on here. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. These are the sizes I use for almost every single simple card. It's just a great size. So you can have these pre-cut. This is kind of the Love It, Chop It series. We haven't talked about that this catalog, but I have it in previous classes. There's a YouTube video about how to use it. It's kind of a couple catalogs ago, but basically, you go ahead and pre-cut your paper so that you're going to use it. But I have found something new for 2020. Love It, Chop It is still amazing. So you get 2 of each in here. So you might chop one and simple it. You're going to simple it. And what you're going to do with it is you're going to put it together and use it for your layout. We're going to come to this after we finish the card. But look, you get to choose. And honest to goodness, this is a paper that I would have thought was too busy. But because I used a simple that covered a lot of it, you just get a little bit of splash here and there. So you can Love It, Chop one and simple the other. So we're going to put this together. We need some tulips. And I've just got a scrap. This is actually left over from a simple cut. And I want to just show you what this is, what's possible with the tulips. Now these I did on Whisper White. These are done on the Melon Mambo with Melon Mambo. So it's kind of cool. It gives you a different look. All right. So I'll put these over here. We'll probably use those too. I'm using my pad because this is a photopolymer stamp set, so it needs that cushy part. Just a reminder, if you are using Melon Mambo, it's going to turn your stamp pink. You can, and I didn't test it, I wanted to see what it did. You can stamp it with Versamark first, which I did this one. So let's see, I mean, the story tells me that'll work. So let's see. I wanted to work really hard on this because this pink is just extra pinky. It's not bad. So if you're not a fan of getting your stamps stained really dark, you can go ahead and stamp it with Versamark first, and then it'll still get pinky, but not quite so pinky. All right. But really, what's wrong with pink? It means that your stamp is loved, well loved. And you'll notice when you do this, this is one of those, and I'm going to botch its name. It's a distinctive stamp. So it looks like it's like super shaded already. The stamp did that. One stamp. I didn't do anything. I just inked it up normal. And then when you put it down, it gives you that super cool look. It's a really pretty stamp. So this is Timeless Tulips. And think about the number of cards you can get with this one. All right, so we've got 3. I'm also going to do, I'm going to just bring this down at this end because the punch is, I am not good at knowing where the punch is going to be. People have you, there's lots of tricks out there that people tell you. To be honest, I just punch them away from each other and we'll figure it out later. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Some people set up a guide and then that's how you do it. It just makes my head hurt. So I don't. Okay? And you're thinking, well, those could be leaves. They could. And I actually did them with leaves on this one. But I want to show you how to really foof up your tulip. So this is the one that is the leaf, but it's also going to be part of a tulip. And then this is the tulip. So you're going to start over here. Because see, if I started on this one, I would punch out some of my tulip. So we're going to start over here. Line this little baby up. For some reason, I feel like I'm shaking. I don't know why. It's not that scary. There. Whoops. There's one. I'm pinching myself for this. There's 3. Phew, that was dreadful. Okay, so now I'm going to come down to this end and I'm going to cut these out. Okay, Now I'm also going to grab myself that same stamp and get some leaves. And then we're going to go ahead and build our garden. So I'm going to use garden green, but I need to clean. Now this one I did not pre-stamp with a Versamark, and you can see it's a little bit pinker. Doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't come off. It's just stained because it's a clear stamp, and that's a really vibrant pigment. Three. All right. So lots of leaves, lots of tulips. These are kind of fun to do ahead of time too. Then you also have 2 sets of stems for your tulips. Okay. All right, so we're all punched, and now this is going to go like this, and we're going to build our tulips. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to zoom you in a little. So I want to show you what I did on this tulip, and it's hard to see, but can you tell? I just snipped, I didn't on this one, I just snipped along the edge to kind of make it pop up a little, and I put a dimensional underneath there. See him? Okay, so that's one way to do that. Another way is to take this, and you're going to set this on the side, but you're going to pop it up with dimensional. So you don't need to cut this, and you can use these. All right, so we're going to take our mini dimensionals on the back. They're really pretty, and they really look like tulips. Think about using doing them with kind of variegated, do a little darker at the bottom. You could use your Stamparatus, stamp over them, like lots. So this just goes right here, and that just adds to my tulips, so then it's got dimension. It's kind of cool on the front of my card. So when you put the stems in, you kind of have to guess and golly where the stems are going to be, because you're going to cover them up. As you can see, they don't show all that much, but you can. So let me show you what I did. So there's my tulips. They're ready to go. And I just kind of decided that they should go sort of like this. And I put the front one, you know, there's no right or wrong. Okay. I don't want this to be on this because the stems are longer than I need, right? Because these are made to go like the full length of your card. You could do that too. You got lots of choices with this. I am going to pop these guys up, and I'm just going to go in here with 3 stems, and I'm not going to worry exactly where they are, because what's going to happen is they're going to get covered up with my tulips, right? So I don't really need to worry too much about it. And I need some garden green. And I put one on either side of these stems. You can see this one is kind of a plain stem, and this one has a big, again, nothing's really going to show, so I could probably do them all the same. So one in the middle. I'm going to go with this one kind of like that, in a lighter color. And then you are going to go like that. All right? Thinking, well, that's not too attractive. It'll be okay. So now, I feel like that I keep saying that. And this is going to go here, and I'm going to stick this down so we're committed to where it is. This is going to go here. And then, where did our tulips? Here's our tulips. Right? Aren't they pretty? And there's that one, right? Now this one kind of wants to be raised up, so she needs some dimensionals. She just really, really is crying out to stand up loud and proud, so we're going to let her. If you need a couple of dimensionals, you need to build it up a little, you can. Oh, she's much happier now. All right? And then my leaves are going to go right in here. And I put them down. I didn't put all of them on, but again, you could dimension them if you want. I just popped them on down. Whoopsie, there we go. And then, because they kind of looked a little weird down at the bottom, I just thought they looked a little strange here. I didn't really like that. It's okay, but I didn't really like it. I grabbed some of that crinkled seam ribbon and I just put that right across, so I made sure it stuck right where I want it with a little bit of snail, and then just added you. This stuff is so thin. Make sure it's nice and straight. Whoops, I'm out of the camera, sorry. Make sure it's nice and straight. I feel like it moved. So if it feels like it moves and you're not sure that it's where it should be, snip these little ends. Goodness, these scissors are gnawing. And then flip it over. Make sure it's where you want it. Okay, then lift this back up. Yeah, this stuff is, I think, harder to work with than a nice heavy ribbon, but it's cool. And I did not tie a bow on the other one, I just tied a knot. And that was that. And then I took more dimensionals on the back. Now I wanted to get well soon, and I didn't really have a punch that was wide enough. The one I go to all the time, it isn't wide enough for the get well soon. I could have stamped on here, but it's not going to show that well. And I almost think that with the tulips having this much oomph, it's almost too much. But if you want the get well soon, you just take another scrap, and it's a really pretty script. And then I just trimmed it down till it fit. And just created my own little, and I'm not good, I didn't feel comfortable with the scissors, so I brought the trimmer in. And first thing you want to do is make sure you have a nice straight edge here to start with, because it's scrap paper, so it could be anything funky. And then you line this up, and you can see where the top of the L's are. You want to make sure that you're not going to hit those. Alright, and then the same thing over here, you just don't want to hit the bottom of the G, so you slide that up a little. And then you've got this great little sentiment, and then you snip into the middle, and then point to the middle, and point it to the middle, and you have this cute little flag, and that's just going to fit right up there. All right, so really pretty easy, but the tulips just make it pop off the page, right? Super cute. And again, a little brighter than my norm, but I kind of like it. So these tulips are not layered like that. They're just plain. And these tulips are layered. So you might say, well, let's just layer 2 or 1, or if you really like, I think they're kind of cool. I like the dimension. Okay, so there's our card. If our card is the only reason that you came, good night. If you came and want to see a simple, hang out. It's coming. All right, so here's our simple, right? This one's a little different. Somebody, Dottie, who's not here, wanted to know if we had something that was similar to Project Life, where you can get lots of photos on a page. Simples tend to do that, but Project Life is pretty graphic. It's set up pretty similar to this. Once the templates come, these will fit so that you could crop your photos down. You could go this way if you had horizontal photos that are 4x6. These are 4x6 and these are 4x4s, or fit 4x4s. It's 4.5 and this one's 4.5. And these fit the 2x2s, okay? All right. But if your photos happen to go vertical, then you just flip it around. Dolly, you are here. So Dolly, this was my experiment to see. I was hoping it might work for you. So these are 2 4x6s, and these are 2 4x4s, which are really easy to crop because you don't have to do, that's the height that the photos come out. You just have to cut off the sides, the 6, because photos are 4x6. So then I took my pretty little label and I punched it out of white and pink. We've done this before, but let me just show you, because the sentiment is, what a beautiful difference one single life makes, is just perfect for these girls. This is Grace and Lucy. I'll tell you, it was a little stressful to find photos that would work with a gray January day and tulips, but we did. And again, I'm trying to stay with the same color as our card, so it could potentially go together. So you could put this together for someone. It doesn't have to go in a scrapbook layout. It could go in a 12x12 frame and hang on the wall, and you could change it out often. It's a great way to show your photos and use them. So this is the same paper that we used on our card. And you're thinking, I don't know, that's pretty busy. But seriously, look how cool it looks. Because you've got a good white border around your photos, and your photos are not super busy, you can get away with it. This is a little much with the grass and all of that, but it kind of goes with the green. Let me show you what it looks like with a solid color, though. I like that too. I probably wouldn't go with the pink. This is more the Calypso Coral one. No, it's not. Grapefruit Grove, sorry. But because I don't have photos that I want to put in here, I'm going to make these kind of sampler style, and they're going to show off some of the other things. They could show off some of the other the paper. So let's say we use this dark, let's go back to this one. So let's say we use that, right? We've also got this, which is kind of cool. This is another one. So let's cut ourselves a 2x2. And so on this one, I just punched the tulips. I didn't even stamp them on the Melon Mambo, on the one that's on the page. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. So that can go like that. Let me do one more. Again, these colors are a little bright, but doing that really lets you fill it in and not have to worry that you had to have a picture that went in those little tiny spaces. Okay? So then I put one down. This is a tulip just punched out of the cardstock, out of the Melon Mambo, and then I inked the edge. I inked the edges of these white spaces, and I put Wink of Stella on it. Can you see? So there's Wink on just this top one. And I don't have to do any more. I could stamp on these. I could add another embellishment. I don't really have to. That's really okay. At least in my book, it looks okay. And then we've got this tulip, which I stamped on the cardstock, which really makes it look really, really rich. Oh, good, Dolly. Awesome. I will upload this into the classroom after we get done. And I have a bunch more for you. So that goes like that. And then we're going to add, so we're going to have some contests for you simple users coming up where you can, right? You could journal on top of those. Yep. Well, remember I said too that I want to make sure that they go with our round punches. So you could grab a 2-inch punch and let me find something to punch through. And you could punch on here and your journaling would go really nicely. There's also a really great stamp. These pictures were actually taken on Easter, but there's a Happy Mother's Day in here that would look really cute on this one. And you could write the date. So many choices and options, and it really was so simple. I didn't have to do anything to these photos. If I didn't have others that would go, I could do the same design of my card. Instead of doing 4 1/4, this was 3 3/4 by 5. I could have done a 4 by 4 of my card and popped that into the corner right there. Never mind the get well soon. And I could have done my flowers in the corner as my title. So, and this is what we were talking about the other night. So many times you think about doing a really cool card front and think, oh, it's a card. No, it's a perfect title. It's a perfect embellishment. Add this to a space on your simple and you are good to go. I know, the feet are the best, right? We've got these fancy schmancy dresses and there's Lulu. She's something. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for coming tonight. I'm glad that we were able to do both. Please let me know. Leave me some feedback. If you think I should stick to one thing in a Facebook Live, let me know. I don't know if I can always do both. You know, right now I'm feeling strong and good, and I'm having time to get both done. But if you'd rather that, you know, I just don't double it up, it gets too much, then let me know. I'm here for you. All right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Awesome. Good night.